Alright fam, so as you can see, I'm doing a bullet journal video. I think I showed you guys November. I'm not sure, so I'm just gonna show you guys November again. So anyway, it's Song of Achilles themed. I went with I Am Made of Memories for the quote out of all of the other quotes that I love because it won a Twitter poll, or maybe it won an Instagram poll. It won a poll somewhere. Um, and then I drew the cover for the little other side. And then I wrote November 2019. So yeah, that. Then there is my finances and the books that I read. So I read 4 books in November. I read We Contain Multitudes, Gemini, Supernova, and The Toll. And then I bought / received 2 books. I received Call Down the Hawk, which I pre-ordered, and then I bought Tarnished Are the Stars. I think I actually bought Tarnished Are the Stars on October 31st, but I didn't put it in my October, bought / received because I'd already filled it all in. So I think that's why it's in November. Then we have my music and art page. I don't know what else to call that page. But anyway, my top 5 songs. I did Figs because, Song of Achilles. I think the Figs turned out pretty well, to be honest. So, but anyway, number 1 was Cringe by Matt Mason? I think that's how you say it? I don't know. Then Lisa Baby by Walk the Moon. Colors by Kulik. Desensitized by Dreamers, and On the Line by Night Riots. There's a little bit of these dots are unintentional because they happened because I accidentally slinged one of my markers when it was open, and so ink got on the page. But it doesn't look too bad. So anyway, those were my top 5 songs of November. Then I wrote He Is Half of My Soul, as the poets say, with some little leaves. Basically, I just copied the glass that I have. I have a glass that has 2 hands reaching, and it says He Is Half of My Soul, as the poets say, and it has these little, laurel leaf things. So, that's why I decided to do that on this page. Then I decided to do weekly spreads, y'all. I probably said that in the last video because I distinctly remember saying weekly spreads. But anyway, this is the weekly spreads filled out. I did do a sleep tracker for a hot second. You'll see that I stopped doing a sleep tracker though. And then so for the little setup, I have these little Greek things. I don't know what you call them. And then I have Perhaps It Is the Greater Grief After All to Be Left on Earth When Another Is Gone down here. And then stuff that I did on those days. Next is the same thing, sleep tracker, Greek things. Name one here who was happy. You can't. I'm going to be the first. So, we love to cry. And then this one, I accidentally messed up and wrote Sunday in green over here and had to rewrite it in yellow because it's supposed to be in yellow. And then What Has Hector Ever Done to Me? I really should have utilized the space better, but I didn't. And then, as you can see, I stopped doing my sleep tracker because I was lazy. And then I wrote, I really like this and this and this. It turned out really well. So yeah, finally we have the last 2 days of November. Didn't do a sleep tracker for it. I feel like I Could Eat the World Raw is on this page, and then on this page it says There Are No Bargains Between Lions and Men. I Will Kill You and Eat You Raw. I liked the nice juxtaposition of those 2 quotes next to each other. And I also tried to draw Achilles dragging Hector behind his chariot, but I can't draw, so you got this instead, which is not very good. But anyway, on to December. I used a 6 of Crows quote. So it's The water hears and understands. The ice does not forgive. Obviously, I had to use the Six of Crows font, so I did my best with that. And then I thought it would be cool if I made water and ice different colors. And then obviously I had to write December 2019 somewhere, so I wrote it down there. So this is December 2019. You will notice that this is not the color scheme that I stuck to for December, but it's also, I didn't completely abandon it after this. You'll see what I mean. This is my finances and my books read and books bought/received page. As you can see, it is not the colors that I used on the cover spread, and that is because it's the colors I used for the lights on my weekly spread. So that's where those colors came from. And as you can see, I read 6 books in December. I read The Witch Boy, Genderqueer, Orpheus Girl, Tarnished of the Stars, Gentleman's Guide to Getting Lucky, and Like a Love Story. And then I bought/received. I actually mainly received most of these books. I think the only one I technically bought was Songs from the Deep, and that's because I got it in a book subscription box that I bought. So technically that's the only book that I bought. The other books I got for free. They were either gifts or ARCs. Next page. As you can see, I went back to the blue and the light blue for these snowflakes that I drew because I didn't want to do Christmas. Originally I was going to do Christmas lights with the numbers. I was going to write a 1 and draw Christmas lights on it. And then I didn't want to do that. I was like, I'm going to do snowflakes instead. And I'm going to use the colors that I used on the cover so it looks like I didn't completely abandon that. So number 1 was When I Watch the World Burn, All I Think About Is You by Bastille. Next one is Always Tired by Weathers. Then it's Hangin' by Bastille, which, fun fact, Hangin' is actually a pretty old song of theirs. It's not like super new, but they just released it to listen to like on Spotify and shit. So like it was good to like be able to listen to it again. Next one is Hardcore by Love, Fame, Tragedy. And then the last one is Admit Defeat by Bastille, which I've come to the conclusion is a new Andriel song. I put it on my Andriel playlist, and yeah, so that's that. And then the rest of this page is the Queerlit Readathon. So I wrote out each book that I was going to read / TV show I was going to watch and what challenges they completed down here. And then this is my bingo card. As you can see, I completed all of the challenges except for historical fiction and person of color author. Then obviously, like I said, Christmas lights for my weekly spreads. Also, I used the space where I was using the sleep tracker to write a to-do list. So like on this day, I had to water Kieran. I wanted to read my TBR. I had to water Diomedes, and I had to get allergy shots. And then also, I ran out of room, so I wrote more stuff down here. And then again, to-do list is just water, Diomedes, and then allergy shots. I don't have a to-do list on this page. I don't even have any Christmas lights on this page because I got lazy and didn't feel like adding them. And the same goes for this. I didn't feel like adding Christmas lights, so no Christmas lights. Then I did a 2019 in a glance. So in case you were curious, my top 5 songs of the year were Doom Days by Bastille, Million Pieces by Bastille, Lisa Baby by Walk the Moon, Miracle by Churches, and Down in the Dumps by Walk the Moon. My top artists were Walk the Moon, The Wombats, Bastille, Weathers, and Churches. And then I wrote down my top 5 2019 releases. These really aren't in like a really specific order. Like you could change the order of these and I'd be like, yeah. But I wrote them in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I left out some great ones because I only wrote 5. But anyway, that was I Wish You All the Best, Tarnished Are the Stars, Like a Love Story, Not Your Backup, and Heartstopper Volume 2. So these are all 2019 releases. Like I said, they're my top 5 2019 releases. So obviously I left out books that I loved that weren't released in 2019, like Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. This order isn't like necessarily permanent. And when I do a favorites video, maybe it'll be different. I don't know if I'm going to do a favorites video, honestly. It's just, I have to make so many videos. Anyway, according to Goodreads, because my reading spreadsheet fucked up and I couldn't get an accurate count from that, Goodreads said that I read 27,220 pages. So, you know, that's pretty lit. I think that's pretty decent. And here, I'll show you guys a sneak peek of January. Woohoo! There's not even this page. I just wrote the quote. But if you know what the quote is, you'll probably guess what I'm gonna draw on this page. I'm not gonna tell you because it's kind of obvious. But yeah, I ran out of marker, so I had to use a red crayon instead of my red marker because my red marker is dying. But anyway, let me know if you want me to keep making these bullet journal videos in 2020. Would you like to see them monthly? Would you like to see them maybe half a year and then half a year at the end of the year? Would you want to see them every 2 months? What do you want to see? Or do you want to not see them at all? Because I want you guys to get what you want. And I don't necessarily have to make bullet journal videos if you guys don't want them. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you would prefer. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.